So he's on his own journey, Garish. I can't
Is
hold his hand.
on journey. Yes. Yes. Very good. People joined at the last moment. Very good. Thank you. Let us start our journey. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Sarvesham shantir bhavatu. Sarvesham Purnam bhavatu. Sarvesham mangalam bhavatu. May there be happiness for all. May there be peace for all. May there be wholeness for all. May there be auspiciousness for all. Is your mind knows the answer why we are doing every time? The moment we wake up, you must do it. And if you are not doing, then we are a weekend yogi and full-time warrior. That is, then the complaint comes. I did the practice, but I have lot of challenges. After a few hours, my mind returns to the anxiety. It means our journey of the Eastern wisdom is like a tourist or a vacation, not as a pilgrim. Let me put another perspective in your. Another perspective is that it is a cognitive reset of the mind. When we say, Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu, and then you go to the meaning, may there be happiness for all. Now, what our mind does every time you wake up in the morning, the mind picks up the thoughts of anxiety, fear, duality, conflict from the past, the default mind. So we have to continue the journey until there is a cognitive reset. What is cognitive? Simple English is knowledge. Knowledge is reset. What is knowledge? Knowledge of anxiety, duality, and a conflict. Two, knowledge of peace, happiness, love, truth, and wisdom are my essential nature. You continue. You do it without fail. And the time comes, there is a reset. So, what happens in that reset? You wake up in the morning and you don't worry about anything. First thing is the mantra, and that cleanses your mind. Do not allow your mind to say it's a bad morning. Is it possible? Answer is yes. I gave you a very rational explanation. It is a cognitive reset, and it takes time. And now you can open the eyes. Mondays is a long practice, but we will continue. Another question, how we lived, why and how from the last session until now. How many times we had the anxiety reaction delusion? Did you recognize these events during the day? If yes, did you apply the Eastern wisdom? Yes or no? Yes means forgetfulness, ignorance. If you forget it. But did you apply it? Yes, I applied it. And you applied. Did you succeed? These are the parts of the contemplation that is going to change you. It will also trigger. I was just talking to Stephen here. It will also help you to recognize, oh, this is my ego. It is because of the ego I was into anxiety with that guy. You know what is that? I was talking to someone. I said, he was asking me how you become the seeker. So I said only one thing because he was, people are in a hurry to receive anxiety, stress, fear from the world outside. So I said, I have only one statement to make. You stop seeking happiness from the world and you start expressing happiness to the world. You are a seeker. I said, now you go back. You are already in a hurry. Please go back and think over it. When I'm seeking happiness from the world, obviously, you don't smile, then I'm upset. It is so simple. Is it not, Christina? Raghu? Let us share your experiences. Let us first be Christina, Raghu.
Thank you. Yeah, sounds so simple. Not so simple in practice sometimes. I had I guess I'm really noticing my attachment to wanting everything to be settled and clear and no ambiguity. And that has brought on, yesterday I had a huge experience with not understanding something of the financial aspect of the business. And I just went into a real tailspin of anxiety. And though came back to use the Mangalacharan and our skills and just the observer role. And I think in the past it would have lasted much, much longer. And it was shorter this time.
Beautiful. The same statement fits here. Seeking happiness from the world, everything should be settled, everything. The world cannot be settled. Why don't we understand this? The entire world outside cannot be settled. Yesterday there was so much of hot weather, Stephen, and day before it was cold. How can you settle? How can you settle a person who has a lot of challenges of anxiety and you say, why don't you do the work? Once you recognize, then everything becomes a play and a fun. Even your personal life, your professional life, your family life, everything becomes fun. Yes, Stephen,
Thank you, sir. I've had a really good few days. It's been a few days, few weeks. It's been really good. I've spent a lot of time contemplating, reflecting. As Girish shared, I've had a conversation with a friend of all of ours who's been on this in the past, and trying to help him in a very simple manner. But in my own contemplation reflection, mainly from Saturday's class, we were so focused in on the real self and the importance of the real self. And so from Saturday on, I've just been comparing every single moment to saying, how is that affecting my real self? And it helped bring another level of awareness to me. And then in my conversation with our friend, just being able to reflect of what he's challenging. And it's almost like I'm living in the real self and he's living everywhere else. And I'm just trying to help with that, bring that together. So thanks.
What he is saying, when you start living with the Eastern wisdom, you say that your intention is to express happiness. Now, other guy is expecting happiness from you because you are expressing happiness. So, by the way, you are already giving that happiness to him. So you have no problem. Others have a problem. No, you should give me happiness like this, in this way, in this particular way. And that is full of expectations. That is what the ego is. And it moves forward. We live in delusion. Let others live in delusion. What we have to do, you know. They are finding pleasure in delusion. How are you, David and Jerry?
Thank you, sir. My experience the last 2 days was really just being at peace, but not only being at peace, but exuding or practicing peace to the outside, whether it was at a store or interacting with friends or whatever. It was, just when you encounter somebody, with the grocery cart or whatever, and you're kind of like, am I going to go left, right? You just kind of smile, and then that person all of a sudden smiles and makes them peaceful. Or who's next in the butcher line, and it's just really when you're at peace yourself and you exude peace, peace comes everywhere, and people just feel relieved to receive peace, is my observation. So thank you.
Beautiful. Yes, beautiful. That's another great application every day. I think a couple of years back, I told you that I went to the coal and that guy, the woman was laughing at the counter. I said, do you also laugh at home? I just wanted to make her aware. Oh, no, there's a lot of problem. But you express, you make people aware by expressing. That is really beautiful. That is going to transform our life. How are you, Jerry?
Sir, I'm good. Thank you. Yes, sometimes it's easier to be more peaceful with people you don't know.
Yes, yeah. Yes. With the strangers, yes.
Um, but in light of that, I guess I feel like something you said that it's always for me, if I go back to, if I'm ever feeling a little bit annoyed or disturbed, or I instantly ask myself, am I trying to control something? Was I expecting something? Why am I a little frustrated here? And as soon as I do that, I know I can figure out what it is, if I'm attached or I have an aversion. And I feel like that's where the practice really lies for us, because things do, even we're sailing along and it's so peaceful, but then we might get triggered by something that we haven't felt in a long time. And those are the perfect opportunities to just see those seeds that are still there that maybe just haven't popped up for a while.
Yeah.
So that happens every now and then.
Beautifully said. Feeling of my limitedness, hidden expectations, manifest into anxiety, duality, and a conflict. First thing that you became aware, and once you become aware of aversion or attachment or duality or a conflict, the moment I become aware, 50% of the problem is already gone. And then I recognize, you realize, oh, this is what it is. And it just flies in the air and you are happy. That is the power of discernment and dispassion. Christina Arago. Once you fix the word, let me know, I will follow you. We all will become your students. So throw that idea that you have to fix the world. What is your duty today? What is your role today? You do it. With love and care, with peace. That is finished, done. Anyhow, Kristen, another Kristen, what is your take?
Thank you. So where I live, there is a lot of peacocks. They just roam the streets and it's their world, and we're just, moving around them, which is just so fun. And there was actually one that got up on the roof somehow, but we didn't know. Long story short, we kept hearing a banging noise. And I was like, we're both downstairs, the dog's downstairs. So then there was noise coming from upstairs. And we have a roof that you could go out, but there is a door that has a reflective piece on it on the other side. So when you're standing outside and you're looking in the door, you just see your reflection. And the peacock was actually attacking itself in the reflection. And we saw it, and it's called flogging when puts its little claws out and it like tries to kick. Peacocks kick when they're mating or get over territory. And it made me realize that not only what the peacock was thinking, but for us, when he was
In
fighting
anxiety.
himself.
Yes.
He was fighting himself. And so when we fight and we're in this delusion and we're really attacking ourselves, when
Yeah.
the
Beautiful.
delusion needs to step back and you realize the clarity. It's just the reflection. So I got him off the roof, but he was attacking himself for a while and it was pretty crazy. So
It's a beautiful reflection. The same thing applies to the dog when they look into the mirror, the cats, they start fighting as if there is another guy. But when I'm in anxiety, reaction, duality, and conflict, in fact, I'm fighting with myself. I'm fighting. There comes the power of discernment. And there the life changes. Beautiful reflection. The more and more we do this reflection, the life changes. How are you, Dennis?
Well, everything was or has been fine and calm and peaceful inside for me in the past few days. Even despite some turbulence outside, I do the practice regularly, and I do notice inner changes. I notice that things and events that used to trigger and disturb me in the past, now most of them just don't disturb me at all. And those that still cause some reaction, I'm able to notice that reaction much faster, and I'm able to dissolve it either by Mangalacharan or by contemplation. I notice that I'm applying this filter to the external problems. Either if I can do anything about the problem, then I will do my best to solve it. But if I'm not able to do anything, that I will just switch to something else. I will focus on something else, and I will not let that disturb me.
Beautifully said. You see, that is another point of these are all powers of contemplation, comes by discernment. And once you have a discernment, you see the dispassion also. Oh, the last time I used to react, but I contemplated, I reflected, and now, oh, it's okay, let it be. My master used to say, do you remember, oh mind, be at peace, this will also pass. Oh mind, be at peace, this will also pass. Christina Raghu, this is for you again. This will also, today will also pass. You try to fix it. Make a project. But whatever is done, done. Finish. Don't carry it forward. Yes, Terry, you have to say something.
Yesterday, I had it was a very long period of time, all day. I could not move. So I was able to handle it for part of the day, but I couldn't, well, I think I'm not sure why, but at times I became very reacting, and I don't know,
Next time, when problem comes, when you are not able to move the body, take it as an opportunity. Oh, body is now ready to practice meditation and enter into meditative state.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of reacting, oh, I'm not, we always make our effort not to move the body in the meditation.
Yeah.
So you are getting some opportunity to do that.
Eh, Yeah. It was, yeah. It's uncomfortable, so it
Yes.
would be a good thing to do.
Don't allow the mind to go back to the same reaction again.
I have
Don't
to tell
just
myself.
let me move into that state of meditation,
Mhm.
and it will definitely help you. So last week we discussed, puppy at the buffet, choosing clarity over the comfort. We discussed life as a movie, not as a crisis. But now comes, we are still continuing with, we'll spend another 5 or 10 minutes before we go for a longer practice of meditation, the burning desire for awakening and realization. We have been understanding that. Have you noticed that happiness never stays where you put it? Outside, where you put it. So it means if I maintain my awareness that I'm putting happiness in giving a session. Yes, that is okay. But after 1 hour, everyone is gone. Then should I be frustrated? No. The master is pointing out what the seeker wakes up to shows you that the peace and happiness are not the properties of the world. I should be able to maintain my awareness, self awareness. That self awareness filters my expectations, my anxiety from the world, and then comes the burning desire. Now, let us talk about our great master Patanjali, who wrote the Yoga Sutra. Just for the sake of reference, Jerry, if you want to go, it is the 21st Sutra in the first chapter. Tīva samveganama sanna, who is awakened in a very short period of time. Who is awakened? He is answering. So, who are the seekers with the intense and vehement desire for awakening? Awakening is very near. He just says the sutra. It is a sutra, not a long verse. What he says, intense longing for awakening, but I have an intense longing for the world outside. Then it will not work. That is the fourth qualification we are discussing about burning desire. When you are finally tired of almost becoming happy from the world outside, you already have a burning desire. Are you understanding? So what we are doing in order to, we cannot, no, I have a burning desire, teach me. It will not work. I have to check whether I am still into anxiety. I have a lot of expectations, attachment, and aversion. It means my mind is already outside. It wants to be happy. So just by making a statement will not work. We have to work on the mind, which is expecting peace and happiness from the world of people, relationship, pleasure, of possession, etc., etc. There, it has gone down. It does not mean that you don't possess anything. So what is the burn? How the burning desire comes? You recognize that no outer situation, relation, event actually carries happiness. They only trigger your own inner peace for a moment. No doubt, they trigger, but it is lost. understand that the burning desire is a steady inner fire, not romance or a spiritual high, but a calm, uncompromising longing for freedom from ignorance and dissatisfaction. So when you are removing the ignorance, as you all shared in your experiences, the more you start removing that ignorance and dissatisfaction in relationship to the world, burning desire will take its place. Another point, understand, I have to learn to turn desire away from better waves. What is better waves? Pleasure in the food, possession, escape, related to attachment and aversion. Pay attention what I'm saying. Learn to turn desire away from better waves to knowing the ocean. So I want to know myself. You replace that thought, I want to know myself. Myself is of the nature of peace and happiness. So you said it. Now there is no conflict, there is no reaction, there is no anxiety. You are already settled. That is calm and uncompromising longing for freedom. So when we say intense desire, it appears as if, I'm excited. No, we don't need that excitement. We need that uncompromising longing for freedom in the state of calmness. That is already there. The moment, say, I meet you or you meet me, I express that happiness. Oh, I have a longing. If, as long as in the mind, peace and happiness are not the properties of the world, this statement must be settled completely. Only then we have a burning desire. Another point of contemplation in having a burning desire, why happiness stays, why happiness never stays where you put it. You wake up in the morning, I have a lot of work in the office, I will do it. And today I will finish this work and then I will be happy. In the evening, you return and you are frustrated. Master is saying, again, pay attention. For those seekers with an intense desire, awakening is very near. This is what the Patanjali says. You already know, I always quote, I have nothing to teach. It is always our masters. They teach us. It reminds me, if I have an intense longing, I have an intense desire with an expectations from a person or from a honey outside, I'm disturbing my peace. I'm disturbing my peace, seeking happiness. Burning desire. Where is the problem? Pleasure as attraction. We feel a pull to the people, objects, events, because the mind projects a happiness into them. Likes and dislikes. Attraction and repulsion drive the default mind even when you are doing nothing. You're doing nothing, and suddenly a thought comes. Oh, let me cook pizza. It's very good, it's tasty. Let me do projection. The moment you have already projected, and the effort will start, and when the effort will start, it will create a wrong belief. And the moment you have a wrong belief, it takes over I-ness, and the ego comes. Ego says, oh, hell with the meditation. First, let me enjoy. Don't forget what I'm going to say. You have to check your mind. Does your mind has created a business model? Pleasure first, freedom later. Pleasure first, awakening later. You have to work on this. Pleasure later, awakening first. This I'm referring from the Gita, one of the premier texts of Eastern wisdom. I believe you all have understood. Pleasure first. Pleasure and pain are the two sides of the same coin. Honey, I love you. Don't disturb me. Pain comes. Instantly. I love you, honey, and what you are saying, I'm busy. But because of delusion, I don't recognize it. It happens to the young people often. I'm busy in doing something and you love me. Don't love me now. I'll give you the time to love. Pleasure first, freedom later is going to create a lot of problems. Buddha, in his famous text, Dhammapad, it is a premier text, where Buddha says from seeking pleasure becomes a craving, there arises a grief, from craving, there arises a fear, and in that fear and the craving, the idea of awakening is lost. All these masters are saying the same thing in a different way. Stop being a spiritual tourist with a full-time pleasure. That is also very important in our journey of having a burning desire. We become a tourist, we become a guest house for awakening, attend the session. No, I have to carry forward. You all have been doing it. You remember, Mangalachan. You remember attachment and aversion, how to get rid of it. You live into that state. So that continuity has to be maintained in order to build up a burning flame of desire. But it is not to be shown to the outside. I'm very excited. No. That has you, if you want to achieve something in the world, obviously get excited. But this is uncompromising calmness in you. That is what the higher awareness, and that leads us to a burning desire. We'll continue with the burning desire for one or two more sessions. Close your eyes. Let us start our long practice. The stage number 1, place, position, and posture. You see who becomes aware? The mind. Which mind? That is self-aware mind. That is free from anxiety and attachment. So place, position, and posture. Do you feel the place? There are two things in knowing the place. The place where you kept the body and the placing of the body. So the placing of the body makes you comfortable. And the place has also to be comfortable. You see that, in our yoga studios, they give lot of instructions. They seem to be good. They are good. They say, okay, there must be aroma, a slow, very sound, very interesting music. And then you have aesthetic in the studios. That's why you see a beautiful studio, but they miss the main thing. It comes from you, within you. So that is why I directly say place, position, and posture. Wherever you sit, Being comfortable is the second step we have been doing. Second step means moving the mind from the top of the head to the toes on the skin. So, are you conscious that you are changing the direction of the mind? That will intensify your, deepen your practice. You are conscious, okay, I'm just changing the direction of the mind. I'm not fighting with any thought that is taking me outside. I change the direction. No, no, my house is on the right side. Why did you take a left turn? So you take a roundabout and you take a right turn. So you're not running after anything on the left side. That is being comfortable. So when you move, you will experience sensation, comfort, and steadiness. Third step, being carefree, observer. You can also say observer mindset. Observed mindset, you just become aware of what is observed, what is your experience. No, I feel anxiety. Okay, I'm different from this anxiety. Why? Because the one who knows the anxiety is different from the experience of anxiety, thought of anxiety. So I created a space between the observer and observed. It leads to a higher power of discernment. My master used to say, vichar. He always used to say, discern, discern, discern. Someone died in the family, discern. You have a pain in the body, discern. You cannot move the body, Terry, discern. Use the knowledge, power of discernment. And that is why, from my master continuously putting that word, it led me to understand, and I made a statement of my own that Eastern wisdom is an instrument of knowledge to remove the ignorance, to awaken to your true nature. But it happens by consistent and constant practice. So we are carefree. In that state of the carefree, now you did not expect, but you can experience the inner calm. Why inner calm? Because there is an observer inside, and outside external calm, because you are not expecting peace and happiness from the world. You see samadama, uparati, you are beyond the useless distractions, but there are some distractions, it will be very powerful. So you have a power of titiksha, resilience, equanimity, uh, faith, and we have already covered samadhanam. Now, in that state, if you put Mangala Charan mantra into the mind, it goes a long way in your journey of the self-discovery. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. May there be happiness for all. Sarvesham shantir bhavatu. Sarvesham shantir bhavatu. May there be peace for all. No cognitive reset. Otherwise, you are practicing Mangalacharan the moment you wake up in the morning, you close your eyes and you practice few minutes and done. But in a practice of meditation, you prepare the ground for Mangalacharan. Why? So that it nails deeply the crazy mind. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. May there be completeness for all. May there be wholeness for all. And Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu Magana Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. May there be auspiciousness for all. You see, you prepare the ground and then you did the Mangalacharan in a meditation practice. Otherwise, we can definitely do anytime situation because depending on the situation. And now we move to the 6 neighbors. The mind is already settled into the discernment and then we separate. Let us look at the first neighbor is the world outside. That is your neighbor, your relation, your house, your car, your son, your daughter, your people, situation, events. It is the first neighbor from outside. Neighbor. Why I'm stressing? Neighbor is not you. How many times you felt neighbor is you? The moment internally you feel that neighbor is you, you have an anxiety, you have duality, you have conflict, you have problem. Neighbor is always how close the neighbor may be. Separate, not you. We have to keep that cognition. Second neighbor is the physical body. Physical body. What happens to you when you are in deep sleep? You are not the body. But sleep, waking, and the dream is your life? Yes. So it means if the body is not there in the deep sleep, for me, I'm not the body, it is only a neighbor. The third one is the energy. How do you recognize that energy? You are hungry, you are thirsty. You demand something to be put into the body. That is because of the energy, the third neighbor, which is different and separate from the physical body. That is where we say the prana, the energy body. And then the fourth one is the mental body. We'll talk about it, when we say energy and when we say energy body. So energy body, it is with the 5 sense organs and the 5 motor organs. Faculty. Mental body, mind with the 5 sense organs. That is how we fall prey to attachment and aversion. And the fifth body is the intellectual body. It also comes with the senses and we'll take up that topic a little later. And ego. And the sixth is ignorance. But how do you recognize ignorance? Do you know your real self? Not yet. That is ignorance. That is ignorant body. That is causal body. Very subtle. You move from gross and physical, subtle, subtler, and the subtlest. Subtlest is the ignorance. And then what? Then we come to the stage number 2. You start looking at the breath. Breath is going in and out, feeling the sensation, no change. In the state of place, position, and posture, sensation, comfort, and steadiness, in the state of self-awareness. Sometimes we use the self-awareness as observer and observe. Now you see that you are already settled. But we have to go deeper. We have to go deeper. What we discussed just now, that we carry forward trillions of impurities of the mind, accumulated impressions, they trigger any time. We need to purify. We need to remove them. Dharana sucha yogyata manasah. Mind gets purified, Patanjali says. So, focus, or simply focus, look deep inside the forehead in the space, and then start breathing long, deep in the hissing breath into your entire rib cage. It expands and contracts. It expands and squeezes. All the three breathing practices needs to be done in a longer one. We will do it. We'll find little more time on Mondays. Continue. Long, deep in the hissing breath into your rib cage. Means why I'm pointing. Consciously you expand the rib cage and you squeeze it. Just stop it, allow the breath to be normal, watch the movement of the breath, check if both the nostrils have an equal flow or not, and maintain an awareness on the normal breathing pattern. It's a simple breath awareness, we say. So in that state, you look in deep inside. You look deep inside the belly button and then start breathing long, deep in the hissing breath into your belly. This time, belly. It means consciously you expand your belly during inhalation and squeeze the belly during exhalation. Check that. Can you raise your psychosomatic awareness? Basically, the three neighbors are participating: your mind, your energy body, your physical body. And obviously, the intellect is also participating a bit. Long, deep in the hissing breath, inhalation, expansion of the belly, exhalation, the squeezing of the belly. Anyone may have a problem in the future pertaining to the body, as Terry was explaining, or any other issue. You just follow the three step breathing, all the three types of the breathing, minimum for 2 or 3 minutes, and then just rest. And you will find it is possible to manage even an extreme pain. We're doing a very little, hardly 2 minutes each. And now stop it, look at the breath again, allow the mind to move on to the normal breathing pattern. You watch breath going in and out, feeling the sensation, no change. And then you check the fourth point, equal flow. If the breath is an equal flow, it is wonderful. Now look deep inside again the forehead in the space at any point. We have many points inside the forehead. And now start breathing both into the belly and the chest. First, you inhale long, deep inside, hissing breath into the belly. Continue inhaling into the rib cage. Breathe out, exhale completely from the belly first, and then the rib cage. Long, deep in the hissing breath. Continue. The third type, the breathing, and that is what we are, is a part of the stage 2. Deep, long in the hissing breath. I know your mind will say, I cannot do it. I fail to do it. No, still you do it. The moment the mind says, no, I cannot do it. Oh, let me try. Let me try. I failed. Let me try again. No, I failed. Again, let me try. That is going to help you. But simply saying, I cannot do it, and you stop, it will not help. And now leave this also. Allow the breath to be normal. Allow the breath to be normal. And with that normal breathing pattern, you switch on to, you see that how we are educate the mind with Om Shanti. So that is still the part of the stage 2. You start breathing deep, long, and silent. This time, breath is totally silent. It is very deep, means you start breathing first into the belly, it expands, then into the rib cage, it expands, you reach to the collarbone, and from there you start exhaling. But the moment you start inhaling, move the mind from the top center of the head, falling down into the spine, reaching to the tailbone, singing mentally, Om Shanti. It stops at tailbone. While exhaling, you start again. Om Shanti. Your mind moves from the tailbone to the top center of the head. I named it as the nyasa. So just see that your movement of the mind, your breath, and saying Om Shanti, they all sync together. So you see the full dynamic state, mind moving, breath is deep, silent, slow, and mental Om Shanti. So it is educating the mind, evolving the mind. You can say we are fine tuning the mind. A lot of stuff you can say that. So that is the first one, is the part of the stage 2. So even I woke up today at 3 and I was totally relaxed. So I did for an hour of this nyasa, even laying down. And now leave this also. We allow the breath to be normal. No change in the rate and the rhythm of the breath. Watch the track of the breath and you drop Om Shanti. This time, because the breath is very short, Om Shanti. Mentally, it's mental. Without moving the lips and the tongue, you are watching the breath going in, Om Shanti, breath coming out, Om Shanti. So the first with the deep silence, slow breathing, and Om Shanti for the dynamic state. And here also it's a semi-dynamic state because the breath is, we are watching the movement of the breath as an observer. We are dropping Om Shanti on it. And now move to the 16 segments of the fingers. You drop Om Shanti on the 16 segments of the fingers. And I believe so. You are still aware how the mind transitions and leads to variety of experiences. Maybe a total calmness, a sense of silence, and a pause, as if you are absorbed into the infinite sky, infinite darkness, etc., etc. Lot of vision and experiences start. So you just, note them, let them be there, let them leave you. No worries, but continue your awareness on the practice. So we are again and then again from stage 3 to stage 4, we have a transition moment. But at present, you are dropping Om Shanti on the 16 segments of the fingers. Goal, according to our great masters, including my master, we are not forcing intellectualizing the objectless state or so-called the emptiness. We are discovering that emptiness and objectless state. You force the mind to be empty or you discover the emptiness. There is a hell of difference between the two. And now look, move the mind inside the heart, visualize the triangle of any color, and move the mind on each side of a triangle clockwise, dropping Om Shanti. Om Shanti. One time clockwise and next time anti-clockwise. We don't want the default mind should settle. Default mind settle? The settling of the default mind means that it will start its own story of attachment, aversion, duality, conflict, busyness. That is another way to say it. All the breathing practices and focused practices in meditation are meant to dismantle the default mind, break up into pieces so that it does not return to its habit, instinct. That is one way of saying it. But the polite way of saying it, and once you find this thing, now is the time to move the mind deep inside the cave of your heart, singing mentally, "Om." Feeling and experiencing mind seems to stop. You say Shanti and then you do nothing. Self-absorption. We transition to the stage 4 of this meditation. Yes, almost, because we said, mind, you are done enough. Now do nothing. So there are, depending on our level of awareness, we may have a variety of experiences, vision, colors, images, past impressions also returns. Let it be. Self-absorption, you are only an observer. So when you are doing on your own and you find absorption is there, always keep half an hour window open so that you can enter deeper. So the longer duration also helps to settle the mind. Now you can also chant loudly or mentally as you deem fit. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Just your awareness on the right hand, weight and experience. Awareness on the left palm, weight and experience. Lift your both the palms, place it on your eyes, wait and experience. Again, open your eyes inside the palms. Just check. Ask yourself what happened. Where am I? What is my experience? And then bring the hands down slowly. I will share our experiences. How are you, Dennis?
My meditation was seamless and deep. The mind was following through the steps with full awareness. The breathing helped like focus the mind, make it more aware. And then during the last step, it was just a dark space, and all the thoughts, feelings, emotions, they were secondary, and the space was, the endless space was in the front. So thank you.
Beautiful. Yes, beautiful experiences. The more you are able to express, it means I did the conscious journey in meditation. How are you, Terry?
Um, it was very short. I
Oh,
felt like I didn't have enough time to do each part of it. I needed more time.
beautiful. We already had a longer practice, but your mind felt it is a short. It means the mind was deeper inside. That type of an experience we need repeatedly. Beautiful. How are you, Stephen?
Thank you, sir. I was aware of every step and every transition, but I was so self-absorbed in the meditation that I found that everything stayed with me. So when we were doing the first breathing technique, we transitioned, I knew we transitioned, but it was just there. And then I made the change, and I realized that that was happening at the japa, because when we put the focus on it, I didn't make it past the first segment, and I was just absorbed in my meditation, and that's the way it just continued throughout.
Beautiful. You see that when we are aware of each and every step, means aware means remembering. Remembering means it will go into your memory. When it will go into your memory means what? Your meditation succeeds. So there are two types of memory. I'm not going there. One type of the memory is the right memory. Patanjali talks in detail. And one is the memory we don't want to return. David and Jerry.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Very similar to Stephen's, just each segment of the meditation, I just kind of got lost into it, sort of just a bliss. But I did notice with the going inside the heart for the first time in a long time, lots of bright indigo color. Very peaceful. Thank you.
Beautiful. You see that. We are progressing. Everyone seems to be progressing. That is really beautiful. How are you, Jerry?
Sir, I'm good. Thank you. Deep meditation. I really appreciated the steps, the breathing helped purify the mind, just settle the mind. And it was nice and deep and absorbed. I did have the awareness of just realizing these tools that of the Eastern wisdom knowledge, and how when we're in this meditation process, it's much easier. But what it does is it prepares us, because the body no doubt will not cooperate with us, and the external world will no doubt always cooperate. And so we set ourselves up to have that separation when we need it. And because when we're guided with you, it's easier. It's so easy. And then when we have those opportunities in life, it becomes easier the more we practice.
Beautiful. Yes. The more you practice this meditation, you can adopt that situation. You can adapt to that situation in event outside. And it helps our mind to live continuously within without getting impacted. That is what I understand the Jerry is saying, that adaptation, instant adaptation, comes because of our awareness. Very good, wonderful. How are you, Christina Arago?
Thank you. I felt the strengthening of the awareness that the peace and space is already there. We're not seeking for it or looking for it.
That is wonderful. Peace, because that recognition that peace and happiness is already there. Where? Inside you. Then do your work with that peace and happiness. Be busy. It does not impact. It does not create any attachment or reaction. But if that peace and cognition of that peace and joy is not there inside, then we are seeking outside by work. By the way, you have started earning little more? No, don't tell me. Yes, another Kristen.
Thank you, Girish. I agree with Dri that the breath work was very rejuvenating and it helped. I forget what word you said, Dri, but it totally hit spot on.
Yeah.
I had a lot of distractions. I have a little guy right here that's been breathing on me the whole time, and the old me would have been like, you're distracting me, but I left the door open for a reason. I left the other door open and I hear my partner on a phone call in and out of the house. But I wanted that opportunity almost, because it was only such a short amount of time where I heard the distraction, felt the distraction, but then I just came back. So thank you.
Beautiful. Yes. I gave you that example. Your phone is buzzing. You feel distracted. Others' phone is buzzing. Okay, lay it off. It's not mine. The mind, the response of the mind. So I have to explore that. Oh, my partner is Honey is talking. Okay, let him talk. It is him. It is his phone. It is dog. It is him. Everything is outside. We get that level of awareness, and obviously the breathing helps. My mind was wanted to remember what Patanjali used to say, Tatakshiyate prakasha varnam. Perhaps in the second chapter, it says that it removes the layers of the ignorance by the practice of pranayama. That is all beautiful. Thank you very much. We are evolving. That
Thank
is all.
Understand.
Namaste.
Thank you.